Hello all, welcome back to another session of Database Management System. In today's class, we are going to learn an important topic called Data Control Language. In short, it is termed as DCL. So far, we have learned different database management system languages like data definition language, data manipulation language, DCL, and now we are going to learn about DCL, which is data control language. This DCL includes commands such as grant and revoke, which mainly deals with the permissions and other controls of the database systems. In today's class, we will see which all commands comes under DCL. Namely, we have grant and revoke. Grant is a command which is used to assign new privileges to the user account, allowing access to the specific database objects, actions, or functions. Likewise, we have another command called revoke. Revoke is a command which is mainly used to remove the previously granted permissions or the privileges from a user account. Now let us see the execution of DCL commands in MySQL command line. So here I am already changed to some database which I have been created. Now I wanted to know what is the current user that I am working with. For that, we have a command called select user. Now, when you click on the enter button, you can find that root is the username which I am currently working with. Now I wanted to create a new user. For that, we are using create command. So the command is create user username. So let the username be dbms is the username. You have to enclose it in single quotes at the rate. So you are working under localhost domain. So you need to give it as localhost identified by the password which you wanted to give for the new username. Here dbms is the new username and I'm going to provide some password for it. So let the password be 1234, end with semicolon. Now it says query okay. I wanted to provide some permissions to the username which I have created onto the object that is present in the current database. You can provide the permissions by making use of grant command in DCL. Let's see currently what is the permissions that we have for the new username which you have created. So for that, I'm going to type down show grants for the username which you have created. dbms, you can give any username under it, at the rate localhost and with semicolon. This means that so far no permissions are given to the new username which you have created. That means retrieving the data or inserting or updating, deleting the data from the database, any sort of DML operations or commands that cannot be accessed by this particular user. Now I wanted to provide certain sort of operations to be made by this particular username onto the database. So for that, what am I doing is I'm working with the grant command. Grant, let's say we wanted to give displaying the data or retrieving the data, we generally make use of select command. So I'm working with the select command, grant select on which table. So currently you are working with some database. In the database, you need to check which all tables are available. So in my database, there is a table called employees. I'm using employee table name grant select on employee to which user you wanted to grant username. So the username is dbms at the rate localhost. Now it says query okay. Likewise, let us also provide an insert permission to the same user onto the table name called employee. So I'm going to write insert over here. When you click on OK, it says query OK. I wanted to specifically give a permission to one particular column, then you can also provide it. Let's say we are making use of an update command. Update. Let the column name present in my employee table be ID. So you must check whether the ID is present in the table or not. So here in my employee table, there is a column name called ID. So I am going to provide the grant permission to update the values for this specific column name, but not for the other attributes present in the employee table. I wanted to know whether all these permissions are working for the newly created user. So for that, firstly, you need to switch from the username root to the username which you have created. For that, what we are going to do is system space MySQL space -u space the username which you have created, that is DBMS space -p semicolon. This is the particular command which you use to switch from one username to another username. Here, this -u specifies the username and p specifies the password. Now, when I click on the enter button, it is going to ask you to enter the password. So here, what is the password which I have created for the DBMS username? 1234 is the password I have created. So that is the password I'm going to provide here. Now click on the enter button, right? Now I wanted to see whether I have switched from the root to the user name called DBMS. For that, we are again working with select user function. Now you can see previously it was root, now it is DBMS. So which all permissions we have given for this username called DBMS? One is select, insert, and the other one is update command. Update permission you have given on one specific column. Firstly, I wanted to display the table of the employee. As select is granted to the DBMS, you can work with it. So I'm going to type it down, select asterisk from employee. Okay, it is saying no database selected because previously we are in root, there the database has been already selected. Now we have switched from one user to other user. You need to make use of the database. So use the database. My database is hello. Now I'm going to display the details under employee table. These are the details that are present in my employee table. As insert is also a privilege given to the DBMS user, I'm going to insert one tuple and check whether the tuple has been stored in the employee table or not. Now you can see this row is inserted. Let's work with the update command also. Update should only work for this ID column, but not the values you can change for the other attributes. Update table name set ID is equal to 101, where ID is equal to 1. Now it says query OK, which means this update operation can be made only to the ID because we have given privilege only for this attribute. Now I'm going to modify other values for the other attributes. Let us check whether that is also going to change or not. Now it says unknown column name in the field, which means I have given the wrong column name. The column name here, it is ename. Now you can see update command denied to user DBMS from column ename in the table employee. You are unable to change the values for this employee name column because update permission is given to change the values only for the ID column, but not the remaining attributes for the employee table. So this is how you can make use of the privileges using the grant command in Dcl. Now I wanted to remove the privileges from the user which I have newly created. So for that, right now I am in the username called DBMS. In order to remove the permissions, I have to switch again back to the root. So thereby, I'm going to type down system space MySQL space minus u space root space minus p. Now, when you have installed this particular thing, some you might have provided with some password, right? Now here you need to enter that password. I'm going to enter my password. Click on the enter button. Now you can check into which username you are. For that again, I'm going to make use of select user function. Click on enter button. So this is what you have switched from DBMS user to root back again. I wanted to see how could I remove the permissions to the DBMS username. For that, we are using a command under DCL, which is known as revoke command. I'm going to type down revoke select comma insert. You can type down individually twice. You can make use of the revoke command, once for the select command, once for the insert command. Here I am giving select and insert in single query itself. So revoke select comma insert on what is the table name, and the table name, it is present in which database. Firstly, after switching from one user to another user, I told you to make use of the database, or you need to change the database. So for that, use database name. Now you can work with the revoke command. Revoke select comma insert on the database name dot the table name. From which user? You need to write down the user here. From TBMS @localhost. It says query okay. That means these two permissions are removed from this username. So similarly, we have given a permission for update command on some specific column name. So I wanted to remove that one also. I'm using revoke again, revoke update column name on database name, comma, dot table name from DBMS @localhost. Now it says query okay. Now we have removed select permission as well as insert and update permissions as well. Now I wanted to check which all permissions are there for the DBMS. Again, I'm going to make use of show grants for the username which I have created @localhost. See, again we have come back to the same thing. So this asterisk dot asterisk indicates that this asterisk defines the databases, the number of databases that are available, and this asterisk indicates that the number of tables available in all the databases. So, okay, grant usage on star asterisk star to DBMS. You can make usage of all the tables that are present in all the databases, but what usage you wanted to make? The usage like select or insert or update or delete, that privileges has to be provided for the username. So here, as so far, you can see that this table does not contain any particular privileges for this username, which indicates that this username has not got any sort of permissions to access the tables that are present in any of the databases, right? Now I'm going back and check whether at least select command is going to work for the new database which we have created. If it says that it is denied, which means we have removed the permissions for the new username, right? For that, as of now, I am in root. Now I wanted to switch to the user, that is DBMS they have given. Now, again, I'm going to change the database. Okay. Now it says, see, when I'm trying to make use of the database, here itself it is saying this access denied for the user DBMS. It is because we have removed all the permissions for the newly created database. Clear? This is how you can work with the grant and revoke permissions.